everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the Sales Hacks Training, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Upsell Report and some analytics that we've included in this as we discussed in our last call regarding cloud computing. And if you're not familiar with the Upsell Report, this is a free tool that we've made available to the public. Essentially what it does is it helps prepare you for sales meetings by giving you all the background information and performing a lot of the homework and research that you normally do in preparation for your sales calls. Now to access this, you'll go to upsellreport.com, click on the Upsell tab, and you would type in any website for a company that you're interested in learning more about. You would then put in your email address here, and the report will be prepared for you, typically within about an hour. And what you'll get back is an email. In the email there will be a link, and this link will take you to this HTML page. The reason why we give it to you as a link is that way if we update any information on our end, the information is automatically updated for you on your end. And so this information will be dynamic and continue to be updated and changed over time. And so you can store these links within your CRM or any databases that you have relating to those companies that you're interested in working with so that you can reference this. And again, this will be maintained for us, for you in real time. Now this example is for a marketing company called Irio. And you notice in the top section of this profile, there's a number of data points. This is kind of the standard data points that you'll find when you're looking at companies, employees, locations, industry, social profiles. Some reports come with more or less information. This is probably what the normal report comes with. Some, depending on the type of company, will have a lot more information about sales and growth, especially if it's a public company. But you'll notice that there's a number of links now, and this is what we were going to dive into this week regarding to the last week or the last call that we did, which is the analytics that we've layered on top of this report for you. And we'll go into that in a second, but each of these data points provides analytics around companies who have 25 employees or one location, but essentially, or companies that work in the marketing and advertising industry. What it's going to do is it's going to give you a lot more information about what these what types of technologies companies that have this attribute have. It'll make more sense here in a second, but we're going to go into that after we have a chance to review some of these other data points. Now, the related companies, and we've talked about this on previous calls where we were talking about how to sell into our customers' competitors. What this is a list of companies who are related or know the company that we're looking at right now. So these are your customers' competitors. And the way this information is derived is it's basically pulled from search engine analytics. And so Google can, if you reverse engineer Google's analytics for search engine traffic, you can figure out which companies are related based off of which companies are getting the same type of traffic from the same individuals, which translates to companies who know each other, which creates a warm introduction for you. And that's one of the most powerful and easy methods of acquiring new customers is simply having conversations with companies who work in that same space. And so this list here will take you to their actual website, but you can pull upsell reports for these companies as well. Now this next section is called the collaboration opportunities. And you'll find this in a lot of reports. It's not available in every report because in order for this to show up, someone else has to be monitoring this company. We won't go into what monitoring, but basically Enable members who are interested in or working with these companies will show up and it'll have this section available if someone else is tracking this company. And if that's the case, this gives you the opportunity to say, you know what, I'd love to collaborate with this person. Maybe they're providing managed services and I'm providing IT security. And so maybe there's some type of a complementary service or a way that you can go to market together. And so if you click on the Introduce Me link here, it'll take you to a page where it already has the company name filled out for you. And you would simply fill out information about how you want to partner together. And then put in your email address. And then Sarah we'll send an email out to a few of the members and table members who are already tracking this company. And then if they're interested, they'll reach back out to you directly. And so this is a great opportunity to team up with other members and maybe even create some good, long-lasting relationships. The next section is the company contacts. And so we look at a lot of different ways to get this information. But you'll find that we have, sometimes there's phone numbers and sometimes there aren't. Just depends on the nature of the email addresses and the information that we have. So you'll notice here at the top, we have the email format for the company. So if you come across another contact on LinkedIn and you don't have their email address, you could use this email format to contact them because you already have all the necessary information. Next, you'll find the location details. And this is essentially just a list of all of their locations. We do provide additional information about each location in terms of any fiber assets that are in the area, recent natural disasters. And you'll notice that each zip code has a link as well. And as we talked about in the very beginning, each of these links will do a deep dive into analytics about that region. And so it'll tell you what do companies in this area actually use, what are their IT companies, and so forth. And so this is another analytics report, which we'll get into in just a second. Next, you'll see the port date information page, which is providing information about who their current phone provider is and when they actually signed a contract with that company. Now, it's important to note that when we're looking at the port dates, if the port date is before 2010, typically that means that they're using a traditional phone system, some type of a PBX that's on-premise. And so you want to pay attention to these dates to see how recent that is, and that'll be a good indication of what type of phone service they're using. In the technology section, this is information that we've been able to learn about these companies based off of their website plugins, their DNS records, their job postings. But all of this information is updated in real time as we see it. And so we can see that this is their hosting provider and it's a public data center. But when we click on this, it'll take us to our report. And this is what we've been talking about. And this is really the purpose of today's call is to introduce this new report and kind of explain what this is and how to interpret the data here. And so this is customers. This is understanding what customers who use this particular data center, which is New Dream Network data centers, and what types of applications they use, what types of companies they are, and so forth. And so we'll just kind of go through this quickly. But this is the content management system that they're most likely to use. So if you were actually using this platform to partner with companies or analyzing your customers, this might be some of the applications that you look at in terms of collaborating with or connecting with, or at least better understanding, because these are the applications that are most likely used by your customers. And these are things that you probably want to understand. And understand if some of the vendors or solutions that you provide can talk or integrate with these actual applications. And that's really one of the main purposes here. Next, we have map technologies, shipping services that these companies use, the web hosting solutions. Obviously, this one is 100% because this is all about their customers. So essentially what we're doing is we're looking at, if we're analyzing every single customer across the country who uses this data center. These are the location breakdowns. So majority of their customers are single locations. So if your customer was 100 locations, you would probably say, for whatever reason, the companies who are smaller tend to use this data center. And so again, what we're trying to do is help you recommend services based off of trends and actual usage. And so when you're talking to your customers, you can say, well, this particular customer that we're looking at does have one location, so they do pretty much fit the mold of this company. But if they didn't, if something didn't line up with what everyone else was doing, it would usually be a good opportunity to make a recommendation for a different type of service. Next up, we'll see the top CRMs. So again, more applications to help you understand what types of services that they like to use. These are the industries who are using this data center. These are the advertising platforms that they use. These are the miscellaneous apps, widgets. These are the analytic tools that they most likely use. This is the employee breakdown. Obviously, again, we see smaller companies using this data center. These are the top alternative data centers that they're using, so a lot of rack space users within this user base. We can also see these are their SSL services, web servers. These are the email security solutions that they use, so we see a lot of carrier zones here. Miscellaneous apps, RSS feeds. Most of these companies are using Office 365, which is not what this particular customer is using. We can also see the most common email formats that these companies use, recent sales events. So a lot of these companies are hiring IT folks and showing up in the news, CDN solutions, internet service providers, e-commerce solutions, ERPs, media companies, local markets, so this is where they're most likely to be. So this might also be helpful in terms of knowing where to spend your time in different markets if this happens to be a good fit for you. So again, this is just a quick example of some of the analytics that come with these data points. But the idea is to help you better understand your customers. So it's again, this upsell report, the whole purpose of this is to get you prepared for your meetings and to give you as much insight and information and ammunition for those conversations. And so these hyperlinks where you can learn more about different companies based off of their attributes and understand what other companies like them are doing in terms of their technology decisions are now available within these reports. Lastly, you'll just notice that there's news, recent sales events, so anything that we detected about the company, and also any security vulnerabilities. So this is a white hat penetration scan of their servers, something that if you do like a security scan, there's lots of different websites that can perform this for you. But essentially this is just looking at weak points that they have within their public servers. So this again is a security conversation designed to help you with that and provide context. So that's virtually everything as far as what we wanted to cover on the Upsell Report. Again, if you want to access the Upsell Report, you just go to upsellreport.com, put in the website of the company that you're interested in researching, and put in your email address. And this will then generate this report. And then inside of the report, you can click on any of the links in order to better understand companies in those regions, companies who use specific types of technology, and really try to better prepare yourself for those types of meetings. So